Well, welcome to first broadcast, our back broadcast. Sorry, I've been gone for a few days, but I've been gone. I've been doing some personal things, and I just want to just sorry gone. Before we get to what I have to talk about, I want to not do some changes. This channel is going to be rebranding its name to NewsBase just to make sure we don't. I felt like the current name of this channel is copyright, so I'm changing this name to NewsBase effective tomorrow. No change, you'll just see a new title called NewsBase. No big deal. No making sense of it. And also I'm starting a prank channel. That channel will also go online tomorrow. So just want to tell you those few new things. Sorry I've been gone. Sorry we're starting a little late, but you know, things happen. Shit happens. I want to first start to you about Prince. Well, let's go to David Clarke. No, let's go to Princess Diana. Y'all know today she died 20 years ago today. And I believe her death was because she was dating an Arab guy. London is white. It's a white country. It's a white country. And the accident was a staged accident. And she died for fake reasons. I believe she died because not was the car intentionally crashed, but she only had minor injuries. She would have not died. She could have survived. She could have survived this incident. She could have survived. Like it was a staged incident, and I'm gonna tell you why it was staged. I'm gonna tell you why her death was staged and intentional. One of the first people who were down there when she died was Xavier Goodmelon, who was one of the first people who put her in CPR and said that she got out the car in that tunnel on August 31st, 1997. Again, this is 20 years ago today that she died. And she's saying that upon receiving it, her eyes were open, and she asked them what happened. Meaning that she was convinced she survived the ordeal. And not just that, the 36-year-old was, of course, taken to the hospital and was recorded as dead in the French capital. She was pronounced dead hours later on August 31st, 1997. That all happened that night. It was daylight here in America, night over there. And her injury was only on her shoulder. There was nothing significant. There was no blood on her. She just told the son, according to what this Xavier told the son, her death, there was no blood at all. Then she found out she had later died, and then she said that Mr. Goodmelon also witnessed two other back passengers who were in the back of the car, Indiana and Doyle Alfred, who's that Muslim. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I think it was radical terrorism that killed him. I think the death of Princess Diana was that when it was found out she was dating an Arab guy, I think, because he was rich, yeah, that's great, but see, a royal family has to be white. It's white no matter what, all right? No minorities are allowed in the royal family. Fuck the blacks, fuck the Hispanics. No minorities are in royal families. The whites lead the race in that. And when it became apparent that Princess Diana was dating an Arab guy who was rich, and there's no problem, but they didn't like that. So the driver was not on also, because the driver knew he was gonna die too. But he intentionally crashed his car into a tunnel, and they won't tell you that. Do I know their final words? I don't know. But I know that Princess Diana's car crash was bullshit. Total bullshit. I think she died. She died for fake reasons. Princess Diana died for fake reasons, and she died because it was because of race reasons. The family admitted in a stated interview, not said, that it was fake. And they were not, and they're also saying that they weren't wearing seatbelts, and yet she only got a scratch on the arm. So after she was taken to the hospital, they didn't like her. So they know what they were going to do is that we're going to kill her. That scratch on the arm is going to kill her. That means the doctors, because a scratch in the arm, or injury in the arm, cannot kill you. You can easily get that repair. That's like getting a couple scraps. So that means the doctors did something to chop her body up, and so to make sure she died several hours later. What did the doctors do? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know this. Her death was staged. Her death was staged. And on 29 hours, we still don't know what happened. But that accident was intentional. It was intentional. I'm sorry if I'm looking at over here. There's a Carolina Panthers game. I'm a good fan of the Carolina Panthers. I don't live in that area where they play, but I live in the state in that state where they play, and I'm a good fan. So go Panthers. How about them Panthers? They're winning, by the way, 10-17 against Pittsburgh. This is a pregame for the first game of their season as all NFL is starting, and I'm very excited about it. I think Panthers could win, but I don't think they could, make it past the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl. I think Christian McCaffrey is good, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Cam Newton needs to be a little bit of a stronger quarterback. But back to Diana, her death was bold. Her death was bold. It was an intentional act. And then, of course, Princess Williams and Prince Harry, their two sons, Duke Cambridge, of course, Prince William, and then Prince Harry. He's had serious relationships, but he needs to get married. He needs to give his brother make his brother uncle, so both of them as brothers can have children. They can play around. You know how the royal stuff goes. This is it, the tributes, and thank the crowds. But as she died for fake reason, there were crisis cars, crisis actors. Not that the driver literally admitted, the driver literally crashed the car. It's just like 9/11. However, 9/11, as we told you a transmission ago, that was remote controlled airplanes that crashed into the towers. But that was also deliberate. This was also deliberate too. They deliberately do it, and just because he was dating a Muslim, they had hate about that. So they said, you know what, you're an Arab lover, so we're gonna kill you too. Even though the Arab was racist, that's what happened. That's final. Her death was race reasons. It was racial reasons, and that's what happened. And again, Mr. Gormella insisted, they weren't wearing seatbelts. I don't know if the driver told him, don't wear seatbelts, it's just gonna be a nice ride. But little did they know the driver said intentional. And you can see pictures. You can see pictures of her car. And it looks like it was intentional. That the driver meant to go to car high speed. And did the driver tell him not to wear seatbelts? I don't know. What did she was falling into no seatbelts, but really inside, it's gonna be safe, we're gonna be fine. But really was tricking her to and her Arab boyfriend to go die. I don't know. Was it a fallen prank? I don't know. But I do know this: her death was staged. Her death. After the accident, it was ruled that Diana and Faye were killed due to the gross negligence, gross neglectance of the driver who was hitting prom, who was drunk, the Roxy. So you might not be able to see it. If you don't, here it is. But the driver was neglected. That meaning, it was intentional. He was drunk, but it was intentional. He knew he was going to carry the Indian guy and the divorced husband of Prince Harry, or the divorced Princess Diana, and he was mad about this. So he wanted to get drunk and scare them to death and kill them. He wanted to really kill him because he didn't want that Muslim dating that Arab. So he said, you dating an Arab, I'm mad about that. I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna kill your Arab ass boyfriend. That is what happened. It was because of race reasons. It was an intentional crash. What was she told that she was gonna die? I have no. But I do know this: the tributes in Paris and all the theories that it was an accidental crash is total bullshit. And look at the memorials. And if you want to see the car, her car, her torn up car, it looks like that's intentional. The car crashed. It looks like he sped the car. He was drunk, but he still had the great stability crash. And he said, you know what? I'm dealing with this biracial error guy, and I don't like it. So you know what I'm going to do in revenge? Because they're doing it. That's not right. And so I'm going to kill these people because that should never be happening. That's what happened. Dude, were they told that they were going to die? Was he trying to do this intentional? We don't know what the conferences, the words that were displayed or expressed or exchanged in that car before the accident. I don't know that. We won't know that. But I know that it was an intentional. It was because of race reasons. And the media will not report you that. Not even the British media. That makes a lot of sense. Anyways, now that I just got that in, knowing that their deaths were staged, we're going to get to immigration in a moment, but I just want to share this news. I think this will affect all the blacks who live, all these black folks who live. I just think the resignation, we're not going to rule on this, but David Clarke's resignation as Milwaukee Sheriff breaks my heart. Yes, did he support Trump? Was he black? Yes. But in this time against the race-baiting media, which race-baited these so-called shootings of unarmed black men and started the Soros-funded media, which Soros also funded Black Lives Matter, David Clarke comforted black people and told them there is no police brutality in police. There isn't. Police are good people towards blacks. And that's true. He was comforting black people, trying to make sure that there is no racism in the police. What the real truth is that George Soros and his funded mainstream media race-baited the first shooting of Trayvon Martin, saying, oh, it was a black teen, and they race-baited it. And then, of course, that Soros-funded media, George Soros later fund Black Lives Matter, and Antifa, and all these groups that admit they want to start violence. And as he was police chief, David Clarke, as chief Milwaukee Sheriff, outspoken, he built a front on conservatives. He was provocative and a Strasbourg Donald Trump. This is sad for black people. This is a blow to black people. This is a sad day for African Americans in this country. Sad day. Black people are going to lose him. I think that's sad. He resigned today. He gave his notice of resignation to Milwaukee County Clerk George Christensen, and he said that he did not say why he was leaving office after more than a year before his term was up. His clerk referred questions to an email address that they had provided, but he did not immediately respond to emails seeking reasons of his leaving. He planned to do next. I think he should join the Trump administration. I think he'd be great for that job. So we can tell those niggas in Africa and tell all those bitches across the country, look, get out. You're not representing us. So make sure of that. But yeah, so again, this is a devastating day for black people. Because the race-baiting, Soros-funded mainstream media, which what it could have said, oh, if it was an unarmed citizen, yeah, that would make sense. But the race-baiting mainstream media says unarmed black men, and it's caused a racial divide. And then, of course, George Soros-funded Black Lives Matter, the group that's a terrorist group that is affiliated with ISIS. Yes, it's affiliated with ISIS. We're going to get into that tomorrow and that stuff. And start the racial divide. And David Clarke, and also because he was a black police that's not a good black, but also he was a black police chief. That means he was controlling all the blacks, whites, whatever, and in his police department in Milwaukee. And that just makes blacks, feel, oh, we're comfortable. We got a police kind of sheriff. He knows what I understand. Even though he may not serve in my district, he's a black police. He's doing something. He knows what he's not just ruling blacks who are in his fourth office, he's ruling the whites. So he understands what we go through. As he was police chief of Milwaukee, and other blacks across the country, they know the same thing. So his resignation is a blow to black people because he comforted black people and said that there's no police brutality. But of course, that was race-baited by the Soros-funded mainstream media, which caused the racial divide. And of course, Soros would later fund Black Lives Matter and Antifa. The recent person he posted from Thursday afternoon showing posing with law enforcement officers at the National Fraternal Order Police Convention in Nashville. And by the way, a lot of blacks also liked him because he even though he had a stance on strict law and order, blacks still felt comfortable. Oh, look, he's black, that's his job. Look, he still understands, he still feel comfortable because he's black and he's that. And it's all in order. That means we can feel comfortable, we can understand all because we got a black guy. So this is a blow to niggers. This is a blow to niggers. This is a blow to niggers. No doubt about it. Major blow to African Americans. We're gonna be right back. Stay tuned. Huge blow to black people. Huge blow to black people. I mean, this is a huge blow to black people. This is a huge blow to black folks. Big blow to blacks. Big blow to blacks. For black folks, black niggers. Donald Trump will still be the best president of the United States. I still love Trump more than I love Obama. I'd suck Donald Trump's dick if I wanted to. That's how much I love Donald Trump. I'd suck his dick. That's how much I love Donald Trump. We're back. We're back. So I just had to take a little break here. All right, we're back. Let's get to Hurricane Harvey, and that was a sad one. Border Patrol, because there's so many Mexicans, too many Mexicans, and too many Mexicans in Texas. Way too many Mexicans. We have a story before we get to. Oh, by the way, Border Patrol has a definite role in the hurricane. The U.S. Border Patrol, of course, there's a definite role in aftermath. The hurricane saying it's completely devoted to rescue operations. That's good. And there's a lot of undocumented aliens in Texas, especially in Houston, because it's so damn near Mexico. Border Patrol South Texas Chief John Morris told the Associated Press that they're currently working to enforce immigration law. Actually, 90% here are rescuing safety patrol. 35 boats on Thursday to help rescue people stranded and rescued. There are about 450 people since deploying boats in the Houston area. on Monday. So that's good. That's good. They know there's immigrants, but immigrants, they're still, they're illegal citizens, but they're still people in the United States. So you gotta help them. So you gotta get help to get shelter. They are breaking the law, but they need their help too. They need help too. And I think that's beautiful. Even though the Progressive Historian Houston has put some immigrants on edge, and they can be there. But again, these Mexicans have got to go. I told y'all many times, I hate Mexicans. I don't like the idea of Mexicans being here illegally. They break the law. And we've got a story to show you tomorrow about a rape case at this factory in Texas that's linked to the immigrants. And this guy has hired a bunch of immigrants to help him have a good life, get started. And by the way, this plant is funded by Soros and funded by Democrats, and it's government controlled. And the Mexican immigrants they're molesting young children by here. We're gonna cover that too, and I'm gonna tell you to investigate that for yourself too, because I want y'all to know about that. We're talking Mexican illegals raping young children behind this factory, and we're going to show you why that's going on. So that too. So border control, of course, they know the illegal immigrants, even though they're not U.S. citizens, they're still here in Texas. They are a Texan citizen, a temporary U.S. citizen. They still need help during this time of summer Hurricane Harvey, and that's what they need to seek shelter so they can be fine. Seek shelter because I know they probably lost everything because of the storm and that stuff. A lot of people have lost everything. And I encourage you who's watching at home to donate to the American Red Cross. Donate to them. Donate to them. I donated $3 to them. Just $3. Not $100. You damn know, I'm damn right I'm not going to throw no $100. Fuck you talking about? No, I ain't donating no $100 shit to you. Fucking talking about. But I did donate $3 to them, so I'm a nice guy. So make sure to do that. And of course, they're important. A lot of people are injured. Make sure to donate. On my new website tomorrow when we debut, we have a new website on NewsBase.com along with our YouTube channel rebrand and our other new YouTube channel, NewsBase. We'll be telling you reasons how to donate. It's very nice to see what's going on. But back to more on immigration. Besides these rape, chopping up, and murders of what these Mexican immigrants are doing behind this factory in Texas, which we will tell you tomorrow. I'm not going to be too crazy about that because if I get sued, I'm going to say, look, this was a source that we got. Sue that shit. Don't sue me. But yes, that'll be our top story tomorrow. Mexican immigrants caught raping and murdering people. It's going to stun. It's going to shock you what they've done. They've chopped up murder. This is just like the Clintons. This is a story about this guy's factory owner who's funded by George Soros, liberal, and he's hiring Mexicans undocumented under work visas so they can help them get a good life, to get a good job, so they can feed their families. It's like a recruitment firm to help Mexicans who are dealing with language barriers as well. And these young Mexicans, they're criminal trouble and they're raping people behind this factory. It's not going behind this factory in Texas. It's going on in Arizona. And thank God Donald Trump pardoned the immigrant denier Joe Pyle. Thank God for him. Joe Pyle, he's going to put they're going to put those damn Mexicans in a concentration camp. They've got, what we need to be putting them is on sacks. We need to make them work in our farms, make them sleep in sacks, and have them be exploited. Democrats are doing that, but the media won't tell you that. And we'll have a lot about that tomorrow. We'll actually devote an entire show to these Mexicans who are raping and murdering and chopping up these young girls behind this factory in Texas and Arizona. I'll take that back. Take that back. Take that back. So I'll take Texas and Arizona. So we're going to tell you about those immigrants. And it's not always saying it's a certain group, and we'll have video. And as you probably know, Donald Trump is doing something else historic. The best president ever, Donald Trump, has decided to pull away against DACA. He's rumoring to do it. I've always been a hate against immigrants. DACA is a program basically for Mexicans who came to the country. It's a deferred action for childhood arrivals. Basically, Mexican immigrant parents who bring their children with them across the border, and that's what it is. It's a DACA program where more than 850 illegal immigrants. And we don't know what these illegal immigrants, these people could have crossed the border. These Mexican young kids, they probably don't know what weapon they carry. These people could be caught carrying guns and weapons. If Trump needs to take this away, because we could be seeing a Mexican genocide if this continues. So we gotta make sure of that too. We could be seeing a Mexican genocide. So I'm glad Trump, because see these people snuggle stuff across the border. They give it to young children. So when they're vetted, when they cross, because there's ICE officers all across the border. Trump has actually expanded the number. After they're vetted, they check, and most of these Mexican mothers, they're expecting babies. Because the Mexicans are always having children. Always. And so they vet them, and they don't really vet the children because they don't know what the young children are just trying to come to the country, right? And as you probably know, they already blocked DAPA, which was for parental arrivals, meaning.
Are you doing this live?
No, this is audition broadcast. We're fine.
You're not broadcasting me?
Yeah, we're fine.
You guys stop printing out and wasting all my ink.
Okay.
You got 7 more minutes.
Okay. You can close it all the way?
I hope you're not broadcasting this.
No, I'm not. Please. Anyways, this is I'm supposed to meet you and interrupts transmission. Anyways, this DACA program, it was to help. Of course, DACA was blocked. That was for deferred action for parent arrivals. So parents who, brought children. DACA was for the children's version of DAPA, which is deferred action. Like I said, deferred action for childhood arrivals who were brought to this country by their parents. But so that was like the kids' version. DACA was like kids' version of DAPA, which was deferred action for parental arrivals. So parents who, along with their children, crossed the border. That was blocked. So that means children and families basically will be separated apart, which needs to happen. Children can stay in this country. They can learn English. They can do that. Trump tried to do an immigration reform. But of course, Democrats and people in his own party won't work with the man, won't work with the best president. And I'm glad the American people are knowing that. In next year, 28 midterm elections, there is going to be no Democrat takeover. What's going to happen is during the primary, before the midterm elections in states, in primary senatorial race, that Republicans who are not willing to, they're going to be replaced by new Republicans, and then they're going to be elected in the general midterm elections on November of next year. And Republicans will retain the House and the Senate. This is going to be a new and fresh Republican process, and we're going to be live there. We're going to build an election studio. That's an important night. This is a revival, but it's going to be the new House of Democrats. I mean, people like Jeff Flake, Republican senator, who's literally against Trump, literally. And the Nevada senator, Dean Heller, he's a Republican. New poll came out saying he might lose the next year's senatorial primary race and might lose the nomination to another Republican. And of course, that new Republican's going to defeat the Democrat, and of course, it'll be new. So there's going to be a lot of incoming Republicans, or expect a lot of Republicans in the 2018 primary Senate races to lose a lot of incumbent Republicans to lose their nomination for their party for re-election in the senatorial primaries in New York State. Look out for that, because a lot of these Republicans who are going to lose their nomination. A lot of incumbent Republican senators are going to lose their nomination in their party in the primary Senate races in New York State, and it's going to be new Republicans. Just watch that. Coming up tomorrow. But anyways, Mark Zuckerberg, who's a certified rapist, who's literally came into the country, and he says that he wants to put more 700,000 DACA jobs. Great. That's really great. That's really great. But no, it doesn't work like that. Mark Zuckerberg and his Chinese wife have been literally chopping up and murdering and raping people. Republicans mostly, because the Republicans, people in the city that where he does put Facebook headquarters, I think that's California, do not like that he's hiring Mexican immigrants and minorities. So he is literally punishing them and punishing Republicans to brainwash them to say, oh, it's going to be good for the city. He's promising, he's raping them. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife. That's what's happening. We're going to dig deeper into that. But he's promising this bring jobs for these Mexicans if DACA is terminated. That means a lot of American jobs could be opened up for American citizens, which we need. Buy American, hire American. That's what Trump promised. So this removal of DACA just proves Trump's agenda, the best president in the world. And then, of course, we don't have time for this, but of course, the right is accusing the left of anti-right privacy, because conservatives are crying. There's sudden immediate response. Oh, we're going to dig deeper in Charlottesville tomorrow, so I'm going to save this story. But I'll read a few to y'all. Conservatives are decrying what they saw in immediate response on the rise of the left-wing Antifa movement funded by Soros. Again, the Charlottesville incident, the race riots in Charlottesville, was a staged incident. The police didn't do nothing. They let these race riots happen. And of course, the police and the police chief who, manages the police, of course, is under the mayor. And the mayor is the police chief's boss. And the police chief is supposed to make sure, because of these riots, to make sure that they control it. And they didn't do that. Because they raped. They want, the Democrats were staging this. The car driver who crashed his car into that crowd and killed that girl, Heather Hayes, who died for fake reasons. That was staged. He was a Clinton supporter funded by Soros, and not just that, Democrats sent crisis actors to respond to the race riots, proving over and over and over that these race riots in Charlotte was staged. So, and now we have the right accusing the left, which it was behind it all. George Soros funded this. Democrats wanted this race riot in Charlottesville just so they could ridicule Republicans who are racist. And this is what conservatives are saying. They're decrying as a set of music response to the rise of the left-wing Antifa movement amid a series of violent protests and clashes that have broken back across the country that was staged totally by them. It's totally by Democrats. Okay? And oh, by the way, tomorrow we're going to actually show it on Saturday. I'm interviewing Bill Clinton's black son. So make sure to be that with that too. We're going to interview Bill Clinton's black son. Because the Democrats are at Ludo, all right? But again, like I said, in the Senate primary elections, expect a lot of incumbent Republican senators to lose their nomination to new Republicans, especially the Republicans who are not willing to work with Trump. During next year, for the general midterm elections, next year's senatorial primary elections, and some states who are hosting midterm elections for new Senate races next year in New York State. I don't know what all the states will 2018 is going to be very easy. So expect a lot of these Republicans who aren't working with Trump right now who are up for re-election next year, expect them to lose their nomination for the Republican side of their Senate primary race, and expect nomination to go to a new Republican. That's what we're new Republican in the Senate primary race for whatever states that we're having midterm elections next year for presidency. Midterm elections for the since there was midterm elections, and where states are having the midterm elections in 2018. So make sure of that too. And Nevada's in good senate. I think the current Nevada Senator Dean Heller, who's up for re-election next year, is going to lose his re-election. He's not going to win re-election next year because he's one of the Republicans. He literally was the reason why Hillary Clinton won Nevada, because of his hatred and his non-Republican, his Republican hatred of Donald Trump. And he's a Republican himself. So expect new polling says this new Republican is leading against him. So expect him to lose expect Dean Heller, incumbent Republican senator of Nevada, to lose his nomination to become the general challenger and re-elect again. He's going to lose the nomination, the Republican side of the Senate election. So don't believe the media says, oh, Democrats is going to sweep over. No, it's going to be new Republicans who during the primaries are going to sweep these incumbent Republicans who won't work in like Jeff Flake and Dean Heller, and they're going to do that. So back to this. Right is accusing left, and after Charlottesville, the media demanded President Trump and all Republicans condemn neo-Nazis and the KKK. The former speech writer, by the way, the KKK was funded by Soros and Democrats. Remember that. The Democrats have had a history of we'll talk to you about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. They have been hanging black women, hanging black men, and raping black women. Yes. And we will bring that up. Tomorrow's gonna be an action-packed day. All this weekend, we may have marathon Labor Day coverage. By the way, this studio is gonna be under construction, so we're gonna be making moves all across here. We're gonna have full-packed coverage. Labor Day is gonna be great. I know Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday it's Labor Day weekend. Keep your Labor Day informed with me. We're going to be busy. We're going to be telling you the truth. We're going to be exposing the truth. We're going to be exposing these damn Democrats. We're going to be telling you all that I just said I promised to bring tomorrow. We're bringing it to you tomorrow. It's going to be have your Labor Day. Enjoy your Labor Day, but enjoy your Labor Day being informed with the truth, and that's what we're going to do. Anyways, after Charlottesville, the right, of course, Mark these informed streets are for the President George W. Bush and a fellow conservative-leaning American Enterprise Institute wrote Wednesday that Democrats because Democrats won't have condemned it because they know it's been funded by liberal Soros, and they won't condemn it. Okay, Republicans did condemn the KKK. Republicans, Donald Trump did condemn KKK, but you know it was the KKK had a right to be there. The KKK had a right to protest the statue coming down. But the left, because Soros planned and funded, and the Democrats were behind what happened in Charlottesville, they sent, again, like I said, crisis actors, and they sent those leftists Antifa, who was funded by Soros, to come and attack and start a race riot. That's what happened. Again, it was a stage riot. It was supposed to be going as normal as possible. The Klan had a permit, and I don't agree with Klan, but they had a permit to protest. They had a protest, and of course, all these campaign leaders who literally said Trump's comments will follow a week after President announced an uncontroversial country slowly clearly responded. He did respond. The media will tell you that, and we're going to show you that tomorrow. Action-packed day tomorrow. All weekend. It's going to be the best weekend of your life. Best Labor Day weekend of your life. Of course, Monday, so people are not in school for that too, or at work or at school for you too. Everyone who is, I know a lot of kids the day after Labor Day are coming back to school, except for the kids in Houston, Texas. They're starting school 2 weeks late because of the flood in Houston. But for the rest of the kids who are starting school after Labor Day, which is Tuesday after Labor Day, good luck. You're going to tackle school. You can do it. Be the best in school after Labor Day. I know a lot of kids do restart school, and across the country do restart school on Labor Day. I know already a bunch of kids across the country have already started school. Kids who are starting school after Labor Day, which is Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, day after Monday. Enjoy your first day. Hope you have a great year. You can do it. I know a lot of kids are going to be doing that, except for the kids in Houston, Texas. They're also supposed to start school day after Labor Day too, including the kids in Houston. I know the kids in Houston are supposed to start school day after Labor Day, but they will not be starting school on Tuesday, day after Labor Day. That's going to be starting 2 weeks late on September 11th because of the floods. And they're getting 3 because of the floods there in Texas, and they'll be getting because of floods in Texas. And they'll be getting 3 meals a day from the school, which is very sweet. But anyways, that's our transmission. Action-packed day tomorrow. Democrats raping black men. The Clintons raping black women and hanging black men. And we're going to have the latest on how Charlottesville was staged and how the Klan was staged by Democrats and funded by Soros. Next was I have an extra video comment next about how CNN, I just watched a pre-taped video about how CNN staged during the Houston floods, but they staged a rescue on live on air. I'll take that. I'll take it back. Take that back. So that was the station. So we'll have an action-packed show tomorrow. So make sure Democrats, we're going to expose these Democrats, your resistance. And again, after this last one, we'll have another live video, a small clip of CNN was again caught staging a rescue live on air during Hurricane Harvey coverage, which was very sick. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you for a few minutes. Goodbye. Goodbye. Successful broadcast too. Democrat going to expose these motherfuckers.